This is my 1998 Chevrolet Silverado 1500 project truck. You may have seen me post about it elsewhere, and now you're here to get a little bit more detail. Well, today we're going to be going over all the issues that it has, that I know of course. We're going to be working our way from front to back, so without further ado, let's get started. As you can already see here, it has a bit of a bent up grill guard that I'll hopefully be able to straighten out. Taking a closer look, we can also see that the rubber bumper here is coming off of the grill guard, so that's also going to need to be reattached properly. Taking a closer look at the grill itself here, you can see that it's pretty dinged up, and the chrome wrap that is on it is starting to peel off in some places. Here you can see that there is some damage to the fog light here and the signal marker, and there may be some other damage underneath. I don't know, we'll have to see when we pull this apart. As you can see here under the hood, there is some rust along here. I'm not going to point out all the rust on this truck, but I'll point out the major stuff. But there's a lot of little rusty spots that are going to have to get cleaned up, as well as a lot of little rock dings and scratches and chips that will eventually need to get cleaned up. Now let's move under the hood. This truck has a 5.7 liter Vortec V8. This one currently has about 228,000 kilometers on the clock. But unfortunately it has a blown head gasket. As well, the transmission in this truck is a little bit questionable. I'm not entirely sure on the condition, but I understand these transmissions often have issues, so we'll have to take a look at that. We're probably just going to pull the whole drivetrain out and either rebuild it or swap it with a one in working condition. This windshield has obviously seen better days, so obviously that's going to have to get swapped out. Also, for some reason, I don't have any wiper blades. Now this picture here was taken back in July of 2020, and as you can see here, I clearly have wiper blades. So sometime between July and now, somebody stole my wiper blades. Who steals wiper blades? Anyway, moving on. Now this side of the truck is in fairly good condition, other than the mismatched door you see here. So this door is actually from a Suburban. I still have the original door for this truck. It's just that the window has fallen out of it. So I swapped on this Suburban door in order to protect the interior of the truck from the elements. So between the two of them, between the Suburban door and the original door from this truck, I should hopefully be able to get one working door out of them. And moving to the back end here, you can see that this truck isn't in the best condition. This bumper's pretty beat up. It's just been through a lot. Pretty sure back in the day my grandpa backed this into a grain silo, so that's one of the big dents there you can see. Also, this is the incorrect tailgate for this truck. This is from an older, I believe it was a 94 Chevy Silverado, so gonna have to get that corrected. I still have the original tailgate in the back of the truck. Now, the perk of having a project truck is that you can use the bed to store all your spare parts. As you can see, I have the original tailgate for this truck and the original door, also the spare tire, which is supposed to be underneath, but fell out at some point, I guess. Also, you can see that this bed is pretty beat up, a lot of surface rust. Probably gonna have to clean all that up, and then I'll likely throw a bed liner in here. I'm probably not gonna repaint it, just throw a bed liner in here. Also at the front, you can see that there's a big split in the bed, so that's gonna have to get welded up likely. I like this bed is generally in pretty good shape, so I kind of want to keep it. I don't want to swap out a new one, but so I'll probably just weld that up rather than trying to replace this bed. Looking underneath the truck now, you can see that it's actually pretty clean in terms of rust. I mean, we'll have to see once we clean all the mud off, but yeah, no, it doesn't look too bad. Looking at the rear axle, you can see here we have drums in the back. I'm probably going to do a disc conversion there at some point. Don't really like the idea of keeping drums. Now, I just noticed this when I was under here taking a look at the drum brakes, but it does appear that maybe the diff is leaking some fluid, so we might have to pull that apart, take a look, see what's going on there, and reseal it, fix it up, whatever we got to do. Now, this side of this truck is in fairly good condition, with the exception of this running board. I'm going to have to get that straightened out at some point. This mirror is also cracked and will need to be replaced at some point. Moving to the interior now, you can just see this is nasty. There's a lot of spider webs, there's a lot of bugs and spiders living in here. as well as the cat hair. It was at some point, because the window was down, cats would crawl in here and snuggle up on the seats and, you know, get out of the elements. So yeah, it's pretty gross in here. You can also see that the headliner is in tatters here and is falling down, so I'm gonna have to do something about that. Also, just junk, like this old TV screen, no idea why that's in there. There's also the tarp over the driver's seat that was put there to protect it from the elements before I swapped the door on, just to try to keep water and snow off when it rained and whatnot. But yeah, it's pretty nasty and has to go. That's about all I can think of. We'll probably have more revealed to us as we start pulling it apart, of course. You know, that's how it always goes with project trucks. Yeah, thank you for watching, and if you're at all interested in seeing what I do with this truck and seeing how it progresses, consider hitting that subscribe button.